Thank you for the presentation, and thank you for the South Summit for the invitation to speak and to share with you something about big data, right? So thanks everyone also for the participation. We're going to talk about big data and how to create clarity out of the chaos of digital noise. Basically, we'll talk about a couple of things. One of the things is what is big data and who is Alto, just for you to get a glimpse of how it's a big data company working today and how we work with large organizations. And we'll see what are the big analytics, the big data analytics challenges, and how companies are making use of those today with the amount of data that we have today. That's one of the things that we will see. Because if there is something we can predict about the future, and we know for sure, is that there is more and more data. This is something that for sure we can predict. For me, there are two things we can predict about the future. One is change, that things will be different in the future. Change is the only constant. And the second one is that there will be more data. And that brings a lot of opportunity to get insights in many different ways and to help business tackle business issues. So how we approach it is, well, with a simple and powerful approach. I mean, we think that the main challenge of data is to actually drive actionable insights. But, you know, before going forward, let me show you just one video. Hopefully, the video will show up. Now, the video doesn't work. Ah, okay, now it works.
We are Alto Data Analytics. We create clarity out of the chaos of digital noise. We are Alto Data Analytics. We create clarity out of the chaos of digital noise. Our two products, Alto Analyzer and Alto Insights, help organizations maximize intelligence out of big data. Alto Analyzer reduces the gap between users and insights. Our software makes it easy to analyze large and complex data from any source in real time. Data has shape, and shape has meaning. Alto presents data in visually attractive ways to provide complete clarity. Alto Insights is where the best technology and the best human know-how meet. Big data needs big brains. Our multidisciplinary team adds a human layer of expertise to advanced analytics. Users can work with multiple data sources at once, identify and visualize relationships, discover unknown connections, bring out hidden patterns, and share insights with their colleagues from any laptop, tablet, or smartphone. We provide advanced software and big data services to public, private, and nonprofit organizations around the world. We are Alto Data Analytics. We create clarity out of the chaos of digital noise.
Okay, so that's us. And let me tell you just the two things that we believe big data is about. Big data is not just about technology. Technology is one of the aspects, but the other important one is talent. So this is about combining technology and talent to actually get answers to the questions, to the business issues, and to get answers from the data to solve those business issues. Right? So what are the three challenges that we see in big data today? So, well, there is a lot of hype about big data, but let's say the three challenges would be these three ones. One is dealing with a huge amount of data. There's an infinite amount of data now to be dealt with. This is also data which is very varied, and there is a lot of velocity. You have to deal with it in real time. You have many sources, different sources of information, and a structure, and then the need to actually convey business solutions, business insights that are actually actionable. So going one by one, first of all, well, you need the scalability that you have in the cloud today to deal with this massive amount of data. But in the past, with data, you have to consider that you have to do some backups. Now, that's no longer the case, right? You have an unlimited amount of data to deal with, and that's what you need to do. Your solution needs to be also, as well, able to deal with data in a very varied way and get insights in real time, and also from many different sources of information. So you need to be able to plug different sources of information and deal with it. And this is something interesting because there is not just data inside the companies, inside large organizations that you can deal with, but there is also a lot of external data that you can actually start to work with it today and get insights from it. And I'll give you some examples of what I mean by that now, right? But you have all this type of things like social networks, online news, e-commerce sites, sites from activism, dark web. I mean, you can get all different type of applications analyzing this data. And we'll see that in the future. And then the third challenge, so we had data, managing huge amounts of data. It's very varied data, but the third and more important one is to actually link the data science with the business issues. And then being able to have visual insights and actionable insights. What do we mean actionable insights? Is you need to separate the signal from the noise, right? You need to be able to convey to your top management what are the things that you can actually take in action on. And for that the visual aspect is very important. You know, top management attention span is very short, and that you have visual and you convey the point quickly, or you lose it, right? So for that, again, I think that one aspect that is sometimes neglected is that this is not just about technology. This is also a big part about talent, right? I mean, there is something that we typically say, and is that you know, Steve Jobs used to say that the PC is or the computer is the bicycle of the mind, right? Well, this type of technology is the same, right? It's the motorcycle of the analyst, right? All these analytics engine will not solve the issues by itself. You need people to actually address and link the business issues with the technical capabilities of what we're doing. We'll see that in a minute. And then being able to apply all different sorts of technology, of methodologies, because, well, there are different type of new visualizations that are the ones that are going to give you the actual insight. Right? And in that sense, talent in big data is structured in these three types of profiles that you actually need in big data, right? You need people who are data engineers, people who are able to cope with the challenge that is to manage an unlimited amount of data, right? An infinite amount of data, and being able to plug different sources to stream sources in real time and so on. So that's a challenge in itself, and for that you have a lot of technologies like Hadoop, Spark, and so many technologies that can be applied for that. Then you have the second aspect, which is the data scientists. And these are the people, the mathematicians, able to create models and algorithms that can come with can build something and make something out of data. These type of algorithms can be descriptive, prescriptive, or predictive, right? I mean, descriptive would be the simplest one, predictive would be the holy grail, when you are able, for instance, in a manufacturing line, to understand when something is about to fail, right? When you can find patterns in data that will predict certain behavior and you can act upon it. But then the main talent, the main aspect that and the most difficult one in dealing with all this big data story is what we can call the business translators. It's the people that can actually link business domain with the data science. They can actually have the sensibility to understand the business issues and then actually use the technology to solve them. And this is how we apply that. We apply that to different domains, right? At the end, just using big data from external sources, I mean, all these examples I'm going to show you here is just driven by big data uses in external sources. I mean, one of the issues that you have in big data projects in large organizations is that most of the people will think of these projects as you have a lot of internal data. The problem with this is that the IT departments, most of the time, are not going to be very happy to share internal data and to leave you work with that. So typically, this is the biggest problem. So one of the things you can start doing, and we work with large corporates to do this, and with the small companies as well, is that you have a lot of data outside that you can start to use and combine with some pieces of internal data to drive insights. And I'll give you some examples. One of them is you can use it for consumer insights. So more and more we are seeing companies that before launching a product, they analyze what the consumers are saying. We have some insurance companies that they analyze what the clients say to see if they are they're protesting or they're complaining when they increase the prices, when they increase the insurance fee. Or we can see how many of them complain about using a 902 number, a telephone number, versus using the web. All these type of things, people more and more are very vocal in social media, and you can get that type of information from there. Then, of course, you can measure as well reputation from companies. Reputation today is one of the biggest assets in a company, and that's something that nowadays you can actually measure. You have so much data outside in the world, like social media, what opinion people have about Coke or about another company is something that now you can actually measure and systematically go through it, and what you can measure, you can manage, right? So that's one of the things that you can do nowadays. You can measure the effectiveness of your advertising campaigns. If you have and we have some clients that when they do a TV campaign, they see what the people are talking about the campaign, and you analyze it from what people are commenting about the TV ad in social media, for instance. We do that. And another aspect, for instance, that we use also with many of our clients, cybersecurity and incident response. Nowadays, I mean, many of those issues are happening in the internet, whether it's the open internet or it's dark web, right? So this is one of the things that you can as well mine and get insights for banks, for instance, when they see leakage of client credentials, or when they see people selling stolen credit cards. All those type of things, you can actually work on it and work on it with the current technology and have solutions to actually tackle them. Well, you can follow nowadays only your competition, the market trends out of what people are saying in the digital space. Just to give you an example, we work with some banks, and a few years ago, some of the banks told us, well, can you do an analysis of the banking trends, just what people are commenting in the internet about banking trends. Well, that was a few years ago, and we end up calling that report the FinTech report. Well, FinTech, I'm sure that all of you have heard the term today, but only 3 years ago, nobody knew about it, right? These were some of the things that you can actually see analyzing the whole conversation of people in the internet, right? Those reports, by the way, were sharing the banks as if they were done by Forrester or Gartner, when in fact they were done by just analyzing, for some analysts, just analyzing the data that is available in the open space, right? We do also a lot of analysis of social debate. We work with large organizations such as United Nations or the Gates Foundation, because all advocacy issues, all social debates are happening now in the internet. When we analyze for them big issues like climate change or energy efficiency, you can see how all the different communities, all the different actors, how the policymakers are acting, how the different organizations are acting, and you can actually define a communications strategy to be more impactful just by analyzing what is the social debate happening in the internet. And well, we were planning to showcase a case study of something that we did in fashion. We have had some technical issues, and we will not be able to show it to you. But let me just tell you one of the things that we've been doing with a large fashion corporation, and it's to analyze, actually try to get the trends, fashion trends, from what the photos that people share in internet. So what we did is we analyzed all the photos that people are sharing in internet with a topic like outfit of the day, like OOTD, like I'm sure that if there is any fashion victim here, they will know about it. And then what we did is actually map, because we can see all the interactions, we can see what photos are more successful, which ones are less successful. We're actually able to predict the fashion trends from the photos that people were sharing on Instagram just with the outfit of the day. So that's a very interesting use case that, by the way, it's available in our website. So if you go to our website, you can actually watch this case. And just as a conclusion, I think that the main point that we wanted to make here is that there is huge amounts of data, and the challenge is really to separate the signal from the noise. That's not obvious. And for that, I think that talent is one of the main things that you need to take into consideration, right? Big data needs big brains, right? A fool with a tool is still a fool. I don't think that in this domain, I'm sure that we will have machine learning replacing many jobs of administrative analysts today, but at the end, you still will need the big brains of big analysts to actually link the business issues with data science. And I think this is my ending remark, and thank you very much for your attention.
Thank you very much for sharing this with us.
Thank you.
It was a pleasure having you here. And now we're turning.